Howdy chaps, and welcome back to another fantastic episode. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet of the XB starting up. You haven't seen much for it, but I thought probably haven't had too many videos of it sounding pretty good, so that's it on a cold start. It's been in the workshop because just happened to be a convenient place to leave it for one day. So we're back on the XB. Unfortunately, this has sort of gone to the side a little bit, because remember we were doing the XY and we were doing this, and then we did the XY, but then we got to the point in the XY we're like, ooh, we're very close to finishing, so we just focused and finished it. And then we had some customers that were waiting a very long time to get in, so we did their cars. Unfortunately, this one sort of slipped into the background a little bit. It's not something I'm proud of, but unfortunately I am only one man. I can only do one lot of jobs at any one time. But we're going to be back into this. We're going to be tackling the lower rear quarter, and I'm going to attempt to do this video more like my older ones, where it's quite a bit more time lapse, a little less chit chat, paddy whack, give the dog a bone. On some other news, much more awesome news, we're moving shops. We're going from a building built in who knows when, that's only 86 square meters, and we're moving to 250 square meters with a proper office, a toilet, a shower, all the good stuff. We're moving to something much more modern, and the business is going to take a much more professional vibe. And look, we just like took the step, and we're taking the plunge, and we're going. We're growing the business, and eventually I will need to hire another chap, because unfortunately, like I've just said, I'm only one man. I can't do 40 jobs at the same time. It's just not possible. So one of the amazing things is, once we're set up and rolling a bit, I should be able to hire somebody to come work with me and help, which would be amazing. Also, it'd be nice to have all the cars in the same place, because some of the cars, unfortunately, are stashed at another mate's workshop. So it'd be nice to get all the cars under one roof and be able to not have to send them away when we need room. So that'll be an awesome thing. I'll snip up a little photo of what it looks like right now. Okay, so that's the new place. It is monstrous. It is huge. I mean, the ceiling is like, you'd have to think getting on 3 times the height of this one. It's just insane. I don't know quite why they build buildings that tall, but I'm not complaining. It means the heat will be a lot further up. It might make it a much cooler workshop to be in summer, because this one gets hot. But enough chit chat. Let's get into this repair. So we're back on the coupe, and this is what we're tackling today. Is some fairly, I'm going to say minor rust. That's not actually that bad in the scheme of things. I mean, we've got to tackle all of this at some point over the next couple of videos. I'm pretty sure it's only gone a little bit on the inner. It is definitely gone, but it's not too bad. So we're going to tackle that, and we have some parts. So we have, both parts are from Howard Astle. We have a wheel arch and a lower section. So this is a reworked one. I reckon it originated from rare spares from a wagon. Because they're mostly the same, they rework it so they can put in this lower section. But I definitely recommend go through Howard Astle, or Astle Designs is his business name, and he's the best place to get Falcon coupe rust repairs, hands down. It's the fastest and most effective way to get them. I mean, he gets them from, a lot of them come from Customer Garage, but it's very quick and easy to get them from Howard, because he's a pretty good supplier. So that's the bits we're going to use. We'll probably only use a smidgen, and possibly end up using that whole wheel arch, but that's where we're at, and we're going to get stuck immediately into some time lapsing. Well chaps, I hope you were enjoying that little loveliness of time-lapsiness goodness. It's another one of those fun examples of it didn't look too bad, but when you start digging, whoo, there's definitely some garbage in here. You can see the seam sealer actually has still kept the paint in really good nick, but the problem is I had to keep cutting because there was rust right here. So I suspect that I will be putting a piece into here, probably all the way to here. So what I've done is, I always do this, I get my new piece and just gingerly text a line so I know I can't cut any higher than that. This bit is still, actually has shiny paint on it right there. Most of this shape is still here. There's a little hole through here, so I can, when I take this out to repair this, I can then clean this up and put a patch in it. It's mostly good. That could go back in. I have heard rumours, and it's been a rumour for a while, that this particular section is coming. I don't know when, but it's supposed to be coming, and it'll be a very good thing because this section, which is effectively the lower section of the outer rear wheel tub on all of these and sedans, are nearly always rusted away to nothing. And this is actually a good one because most of it's still there. Regularly I used to come across them and there's just, they sort of stop at about here and all of the bottom's missing. So I'm going to try and maybe belt sand the remnants of this junk off, and then have to keep cutting up here, I reckon. So we'll just play it by ear. Well chaps, I'm going to actually be a bit of a tease and I'm going to stop the repair video here. I mean, I'm obviously going to continue the repair and show you the rest of it, but I wanted to do this video as a, is this the format that you prefer? Is this better than what I have been doing, where I've been doing a lot more talking and less videoing? So this one's got, should in theory have more videoing and less talking, but I wanted to actually test it out, so I do a quick one of the start of this repair, and then the very next video will be all of this style If you guys like it, be sure to comment and let me know if you like the style. I also have to do a couple of thank yous to the few people who have been sending me odds and ends throughout the time. I mean, the last guy, I think Dean, I think his name was, he sent me the radio blank for the EJ. I was immensely happy to get that. I sat down the other night and hand polished it up and went, that's lovely. Wayne and Neil, they've been
Seat rails.
Someone gave me hints on seat rails and a few things, so there's been some really awesome chaps sending me stuff. One guy sent me, I'm not sure what I think they were wiper blade inserts, but I was not intelligent enough to figure out how that all works. But you know, I'll happily take anything that people want to send me, as long as it's not a bullet at Mark 1. But yes, big thank you to the people who have sent me stuff over time, especially when and there was a lovely chap who sent me the inspection plate cover for the XB for the C4. Don't forget him. But yeah, there's been you guys have just been awesome, and actually you guys watching my videos and subscribing and putting up with all the ads are actually half the reason we can actually move to a new shed, because I've been a good little guy and I've saved every ounce of YouTube money they've paid me, and that's also contributing to the move. So you guys are actually helping my business grow by watching and putting up with the ads. The thing that's going to suck the most about moving is going to be this compressor here, because it is big. Although I must admit, if you wanted a review of compressors, I don't think I'd rate that one as high as you'd think. I mean, its capacity is good, but it has had some issues from the very beginning. One of them being some electrical gizmos and gadgets in here were not good, or it might have been in here, one of the two. We had an electrician in who specialised in compressors, and he did a lot of fixing and reworking of the electrics of this before we could even use it. The other thing is this little black line here blows off regularly, and it shouldn't. I don't know why it does, but you get a nice hot day using the compressor, it'll just rip off and flap around. And the current issue is this O-ring plastic piece of garbage that's under that brass fitting. As you can hear, it's leaking currently and it's blown out before. And then I had to do the oil filler cap leaked so epically it wasn't even funny, so I've had to seal that up and do all sorts of stuff to get that to stop leaking oil. So I mean, I guess it's better than what I had, but is it worth the price tag that we paid? No, absolutely not. The quality just isn't there. I mean, most people probably tell me that that's not the greatest air compressor in the world, but you know, I'm not made of money, I can't buy the world's best one, so we just have to get what we can get. But my humble opinion of that one is it could be a lot better than what they sell them for, but you know, it's just, that's my realistic opinion of this compressor. It's very capable, but it's been let down by, I guess, a few cheap components being stuck in it, if that makes sense. So this one can happily run 2 sets of air lines comfortably, probably all day. It is a 200 litres capacity and it can pump out the air. It can replenish it nice and fast, but it's all these extra bits that are just a bit rubbish, really. But that, we're going to need to have that taken down to the new workshop on a flatbed, I reckon. So that'll be fun. There's my EJ bonnet, lovely. So that's where we're going to wrap up this video. I'm going to do the next one hopefully in the same format, less talking, more time-lapsey, and with a couple of interwoven bits. But tell me if you like this new format with more time-lapse, more sort of how it used to be. So I'm trying to get back to what people enjoyed. But look at the mess that thing put out. Just incredible. And a fine example of why I refuse to quote rust repairs. Because you could have looked, I looked at this panel from underneath from the other side and it had no holes in it. But one little trip through a plastic wheel and it was peppered. You need to replace probably the whole lower section of this. And it's good that that's never been done before, because it's original, and the original factory ones have a little kick on the bottom of them that's been on both sides, and I'll just have to cut this piece off to fix this and then have to rebuild this to put this back in. I'm not going to cut any further back than this, but I will separate it, but I want to keep all of this original shape. So that's where we're up to. I hope you enjoy this episode. It's going to be a bit different, but tell me if you enjoyed it. Thank you.